In today's video, we're going to talk about why you oftentimes might feel powerless, and better yet, what you can do about it. Hello, my name is Paul, and this is Path of Ascension.
Let's go. We have a lot to go over. Everybody sit down. Come on.
So why do we sometimes feel powerless? There's a lot of things going on in the world that a lot of times we feel we have no control over. And I think what that really is us looking at things from a very sort of small perspective. So as you may be aware, one of the smaller perspectives of human nature is fear.
Well, everybody on Earth deals with fear. That's what little brains do.
And that lives at a very low vibrational level. And when you're exposed to media such as the news or politics or war or anything that's going on externally, those things, because they're not things you can readily change, play into that fear. So what do we need to do to counteract that?
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Keep in mind that you as a person and as a spiritual being living in a temporary existence as a human are able to vibrate on many, many different levels. If you're living unconsciously or just reacting to things, you're going to stay in that same level. Even though your hands are not tied, you have access to all kinds of levels. So how do we move ourselves through those levels, and how do we look at things differently, and how do we empower ourselves to combat all the negativity in our lives? There are higher levels that I could be living at. So think of yourself with like a rope and maybe a grappling hook, and you're going to hurl that thing up a mountain, and it's going to stop and it's going to catch, and you're going to pull yourself up to that level. It's how high of a level do you want to be at? Do you want to be at that higher vibrational level where you're living your life with compassion and love and understanding and unlimited open heart beingness? Or do you want to stair step your way where, okay, well, I'm afraid of this now, so maybe I'll get over that, and maybe I'll have to get over this ego stuff here. That's all part of it. But if you elevate yourself to a higher level, you're going to see those challenges as much easier to resolve within yourself. Remember that the path of ascension is not a path out or externally, it's a path internally. So the deeper that you can go, the more you can find that quiet space within yourself, the easier it is for you to vibrate at that level. Now, why do I need to do that? Well, number one, you don't want to expose yourself to negative things that you can't do anything about.
Don't go on the internet, or watch TV, or read newspapers, or talk to people.
I would just drop that whole exposure. Sometimes it's people that you're exposed to that keep you in that negative space. But remember, you're responsible for what you expose yourself to and how you respond to it. Remember that every expression that you have of integrity and charity is a force against corruption. Every expression that you have of compassion is a force against cruelty. Every expression that you have of gratefulness is a force against greed. Every expression that you have of love is a force against hate. These things that you are expressing are so much more powerful than the things and the forces that you're fighting. You look at corruption and greed and people's thirst for power. These things don't last. They're very temporary, and they begat a lot of negative things that bring them eventually down. These other forces, these higher vibrational levels of charity and love and compassion, these are universally powerful forces. There is a tipping point in the collective consciousness, whether you know it or not. Every time you do something good, you are pushing us closer and closer to that tipping point. All the things that you embody within yourself of a higher vibrational level are all going to be exactly the source of your power, and are really all that you're going to need to not be knocked back and forth by the external and by what other people do. So I hope this helps a little bit. If these types of topics resonate with you, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell to let you know when we post another video. Thank Thanks again for watching. Namaste.